Picture this, a man hiding in a winter press, secretly threshing wheat to keep it safe from invading armies. This was Gideon, probably the last person you'd expect God to choose as a mighty warrior. But that's exactly what happened, and I'm about to tell you one of the most incredible underdog stories in history. When the angel of the Lord appeared to Gideon, he was literally hiding from his enemies. The Midianites had been terrorizing Israel for years, stealing their crops and destroying their land. And there was Gideon, calling himself the least important person from the weakest clan. Talk about low self-esteem. But here's where it gets interesting. The angel greets him with, "The Lord is with you, mighty warrior." Can you imagine? It's like calling a scared cat a fierce lion. Gideon's response was priceless. He basically said, "Me, mighty, have you seen what's happening to our people? Where are all the miracles our ancestors talked about?" What's fascinating is how patient God was with Gideon's doubt. When Gideon asked for signs, God didn't roll his eyes or walk away. Instead, he gave Gideon not one, but 3 signs. First, fire consumed an offering from a rock. Then there was the famous fleece test, twice. Once the fleece was wet while the ground was dry, and then vice versa. But here's where the story takes an unexpected turn. Just when Gideon finally gathered an army of 32,000 men, God said, "That's too many. Too many." They were already outnumbered. Yet God reduced the army to just 300 men. Why? Because he wanted to show that victory comes from him, not from human strength. And you know what? With just 300 men carrying trumpets and empty jars with torches inside, they defeated an army of 135,000. No swords were even drawn. They just broke the jars, blew the trumpets, and watched as God threw the enemy into total confusion. The transformation of Gideon from a fearful man hiding in a winter press to a mighty warrior leading 300 men to victory is absolutely remarkable. It shows us that God doesn't call the qualified, he qualifies the called. He sees potential in us that we don't see in ourselves. This story reminds us that our greatest weakness can become our greatest strength when we trust in God. Gideon's journey from zero to hero wasn't about his abilities. It was about his willingness to finally trust and obey, even when everything seemed impossible. And that's a lesson we can all take to heart today. Remember, next time you feel inadequate or afraid, think of Gideon. Sometimes the greatest warriors start out hiding in wine presses, and the biggest victories come when we're willing to trust beyond our fears.